Iranbray starts with it again, gets it inside. There's the goal, there's halftime.
Absolutely. Sweden is playing one heck of a game. They are the defending world champions, and they're not going to give up.
I wanna play.
Hey, welcome. Episode 6 of the greatest game ever played. I'm Dennis Cribber Warson. This is the beginning of the second half of the 1994 World Championship game between Sweden and the United States. At the moment, Sweden is leading the game 11-7. So let's see how this game progresses. We're going to play around 10 minutes today, and then we'll talk at the end and see what we see.
What a great game.
Here we go then for the second half. Welcome back for second half coverage of the 1994 Ultimate Frisbee World Championships. Sweden lead by 11 goals to 7.
Yes, and they're playing very, very smart. New York, the U.S. team, making uncharacteristically bad throwing mistakes. Sweden has been capitalizing. They lead by 4.
USA keep possession on that. Rather risky play, looped up high, but came down safely into the hands of Ben Usadi. America's number 22, Mike Nevins, gets it off to Tony Sheeman, who tries the huck downfield, grabbed nicely by Warson, and after the spectacular play, the easier throw by Warson didn't come off, but that's because it was hit out of his hands by Nama Yunnan. Yunnan marking Warson very closely here. Warson knows where to put the disc, goes out to Skip Kuhn. Again, there's a stoppage on the play.
And it was a pick call, Simon. And it'll end up in midfield, I believe.
To get the first point on the board in the second half. He goes outside to Sheeman. Good grab by him, brought it into his body. Never any danger of him dropping that one. That's his second goal of the game.
A most important score for New York. They were trailing by 4. They brought it to within 3. They're down 11-8.
Go this way, let's go forward. No, I know. And then...
Keep the Shiites on the field! 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 Try your wing. John, that's right. Top back on your side. Okay.
USA then to Paul, getting that vital point to edge a little closer to Sweden. Grabbed and played quickly there by Anders Bortvedsson, who had an excellent first half. Moving in nicely, Sweden trying to set something up quickly here. But good marking play by USA's number 28, Blair O'Connor.
Counted in.
Hard mark, John, hard mark.
Kolla hur han markerar det!
Get him, Andy.
Another foul. Andy Sheeman was playing too close to the Sweden offensive player, Botmason.
Sheeman still all over Botmason, but Botmason gets it away this time. Good interception play there by Gewurz, whose defensive efforts in this game have been superb. But like many other members of the USA side, he has been guilty of 1 or 2 loose passes. This is just one of them, although it's going to hang in the air long enough, but out of bounds.
You're absolutely right, Simon. He's playing a terrific defensive game. Leads the team with blocks with 3, but he might also lead the team in turnovers with at least 3.
Go, Johnny!
New York is in his own defense here.
But Botmason getting the disc forward quickly. to Nama Yunnan, who couldn't find a man free ahead, so went backwards.
Perfect crossfield pass to number 8, Carl Norling.
Turned out to be a good play, and Sweden still have possession and the lead by 11-8.
And the U.S. has switched into a man-to-man, but Yunnan puts it up, and that's a goal.
Super play by Yunnan, who spotted his man free. It was Niklas Jalnovic.
But I'm sorry, Simon, to interrupt, but it's going to come back. It seems that Yunnan traveled when he threw the disc, meaning that he dragged his pivot foot as he was throwing, and it's coming back. No goal. It's still 11-8.
Right, I agree.
No big throws for him, Dennis. That's it. Move your feet, Dennis. No throws.
Nama Yunnan looking at first to go long where Niklas Jalnovic is waiting in the end zone, but is forced to go short in the end. And Sweden still have possession in the middle of the field. Here's Åke Forsgren seeing a little bit of game action at last into the veteran Boffertson. Boffertson gets one out to the edge of the end zone. Sweden trying to find a man free. Good man-to-man marking by the US team. And a fumble on the disc, but it was hit out of his hand, so immediately Sweden will regain possession. That one goes into the edge of the end zone, and a stoppage on that play, Andy.
Another obstruction or pick call in the end zone. That pass will go back to number 17, Stefan Angergaard. Blair O'Connor will be marking for the U.S. And here it goes, Simon.
Stefan Angergaard then inside. Good diving block there. And then a second diving attempt. Now, Schiemann made the original block. If the Swedish player had caught that, Andy, would that have been a goal?
Yes, it looked like if he had caught that inbounds, it certainly would have. A great effort by number 14, Jonas Forsberg, on the batted attempt. The U.S. gets the disc, trailing by 3.
Boffertson inside, and a fumble on the goal line. Uncharacteristic by the usually very safe Niklas Jalnovic. And USA getting things going at the other end of the field as quickly as possible. Skip Kuhn sees Tony Schiemann inside. He's completely free to score.
I'm afraid the whole play is going to come back, even though the US's Dave Babcock made a great grab in midfield. There was a travel call way back in the corner. Still going to be US's disc.
Dennis Warson then, deep inside his own half, goes long. It was accurate though, very good pass by him. Looking to find some space. And Skip Kuhn catches that and immediately flips it back into play. A spectacular play, and if it can be grabbed by Gewurz, it would have been something special. Gewurz couldn't quite make the grab, but the player was out of bounds. He somehow managed to get the disc back into play, Andy.
They call that the greatest play in Ultimate, and it almost was successful. You see here on the replay, a pass by Dave Babcock sailing out of bounds. Skip Kuhn grabbing it with one hand. As he sails out of bounds, throws it back into play, but cannot get it to John Gewurz. Sweden on the attack.
Sweden have possession then. Sweden mishandled the disc, and an immediate turnover taken very quickly and long. A good chance here for USA. Goal for Blair O'Connor.
A great play by John Gewurz. Picked up the mistake, threw it 50 yards downfield to a wide open Blair O'Connor. The U.S. pulls within 2, 11-9.
So, big spike from Blair at the end there. It's not a good look. I've done it as well. Looking at it, judging it now, which I shouldn't do. Judge not before you judge yourself. I'm judging myself too. I've been there, I've done it, but not condoning the angry spike. At least he wasn't, you know, the guy had, the defender had turned and he spiked it into the ground. He was just elated. Things that stick out. Andy Sheeman, playing well. Fiery, but also like a shout out for how at one point he crowds Anders, tall Anders, and he's going crazy, which is not against the rules, but he bumps into him, and that's a foul, and Anders calls a foul, and Andy immediately, he doesn't complain, he would be bullshitting if he complained, right? So he puts his hands back in a respectful way and he backs up. And then the disc goes back into play and he goes crazy again, but he doesn't bump him this time. And that's completely legal. And, you know, desperate times require desperate measures. And Andy is all hands on deck. He gets a block, he scores a goal. Even though it's the biggest moment in the sport and emotions are at their highest, he's able to keep calm, play well, and be respectful of his opponents. Nobody's getting heated. This whole little segment, by the way, you can see it, the longest game ever played is what we really should call this thing. I was about to say there's a lot of calls, but it's not getting ugly at this point in the game. It's just, there's a lot of picks. By the way, there was one time when Andy Bornstein says travel, that I called travel on Namir, but that was not the call. There was one of the many pick calls going on in the middle of the play, and so it had to come back before the throw. A lot more turnovers. Johnny's got a couple turnovers. Skip's got another one in there. Speaking of travel calls, Namir called a good travel call on me. And again, that's why my face, I'm pretty calm. I'm not pissed off because somebody like that makes a call on you. Okay. All calls are not bad, people. Gonna have Walter back real soon. He's just across the bridge over there in San Francisco. We'll see you next time on the greatest game ever played.